Last time on Dungeons, Drive-Ins, and Dice, a Delta Dawn adventure.
You all have found yourselves signing up for the Back Atmos Star System Brokerage and Protectorate. You know that you're going to be shipped off basically to the ends of your known universe. You're heading out to the Delta Guild and Allied Partnership, but we just call it the Delta, he says. Introductions begin around the ship.
Hi there, it's me, Slippy.
My name is BBW, or you can call me Wally.
Hi, I'm Carl.
Hello all, my name is Grubbins.
Over the next few months, you will all be sanctioned off into teams, and then you will be given a ship and ultimately sent out.
I was saying I could, because you got wings, but you know what you don't have? A wingman. And that's where I can slip right on in.
Here's what I need you to do. I need you to make yourself useful in the bridge command.
I enjoy looking at the wonders of all this technology. Still trying to find a purpose. I can do this, but this is cool too.
You learn that the residential sector is 40% out of commission because for the past 5 years they have not had enough power in the station to power it. There was a huge issue and explosion in the Science Bay, which ripped through much of the station, and it has shut off all access to that old Science Bay and the warp engine. Also with that, you learn her schedule, and you're able to find a decent time to ask her for an audience with your friend.
I'm gonna just make a delicious pickled cabbage beet wort stir fry. And
this is my wort fry. Enjoy.
I'm going to add my secret ingredient to that. My ingredient is that I can put my eggs in stuff. I proffer that to the captain, and we share a meal. I'm going to invoke my secret ingredient ability, the absolute loyalty ability.
As long as you folks keep your nose to the grindstone and get good work done, I'm sure that promotions will not come to pass you up.
I'm gonna make hard eye contact, and I was like, I would like that as a promise, please.
Just a little bit too long. She holds your eye contact with seriousness. Your eye drops to her plate, and you see that she ate her food. However, in the corner of her plate, you can see your 4 eggs piled neatly atop of a little piece of leaf. And then she winks at you.
I twitch my antenna back.
And now we return to our adventure.
With expedited ship delivery, thanks to Cookie, you folks have gotten a ship a little bit ahead of schedule, which is why it has a few extra modifications. We were talking, Dante, before you just got here. If you go to the Google Drive in that shared folder, you will find a merchants page. At the top of that merchants page are all of your current ship stats with everything we talked about indicated in terms of the numbers, and right below that's a little graph that talks about everything that we talked about. All the questions you guys answered last time are indicated in what they mean mechanically here. The big bit, bulkhead doors, was Lawrence's answer. Add some durability and very sturdy doors, almost unopenable from the outside without permission, right? If you guys press a button, it will open, but unless they're extremely high level, enemy or thief.
That's because Carissa used to always walk in whenever I was going to the bathroom, so I wanted to make sure that we had really, really fucking thick bathroom doors.
Bulkhead doors.
Understandable.
Your shield is currently broken, but it is a modified shield applying extra radiation shielding. That radiation shielding kind of goes a little further and is in the walls of your ship, so you have a little bit extra shielding.
In the bathroom stalls.
There, sure, in the bathroom stalls as well. You folks have a storage bay, which imagine a warehouse with humidity control, maybe a fridge, and a heater in case you need something that needs to be kept hot. Not necessarily food based, but if you find something like that, it's basic storage.
I'm cold blooded. I need to be kept hot.
So those things are your normals. As a team, you are given 5 ship tokens. It is 1 ship token to 50 credits if you want to purchase them. You can get them as rewards for other things as well down the lines, but if you want to just like outright buy an extra one, it currently costs 50 credits. If you want to fix your shield, it'll come as a package for 2 credits. And other than that, you can spend them as you see fit.
I, Tobbleson S. Slippy, hereby bequeath my token into the shield fund.
Yeah, you guys can have mine. I got nothing better to do with it.
So the shield is...
I mean, guys, come on. I'm looking for government secrets. You think you can just bribe your way into the government? That's not how it works. Ridiculous.
Okay, so 2 credits fixes a shield.
I don't think that's how.
You as a team have 3 credits remaining. What would you like to spend them on in order to upgrade your ship?
Ship nuts! Ship nuts! How many credits are ship nuts?
I don't have to eat, so I think we should go faster. I'd like to put my token towards anything that makes us go faster.
You're looking for speed, so let's look down this list.
What are slots?
So slots in Wings Gabe is just asked. You notice that the current thing has 1 slot. If you were to upgrade by 1, you would get 2 slots rather than 1 slot. Your basic laser, if you scroll up, you'll see equipped to your wings is a basic laser that takes up the slot on your wings. If you scroll down below all of those ship parts, you'll find the things that fill those slots and what slots they fill. I spent a shitload of time making this graph.
Yeah, this is awesome.
It's about, building the puzzle that you want as a ship over time.
Cool. How can we upgrade shields?
Shield's always good.
Let's take a peek at that then. So you guys have 3 tokens left. Your shields, while
We can get phase or radiation, looks like.
You could get a basic shield, which would increase its durability, and I think also its recharge time, yes.
I heard that we're upgrading our shields to basic. I heard that we wanted to upgrade our engine.
I just called being on engine. We don't. Did we say we wanted to upgrade it?
I heard.
I don't remember hearing that, but I want to verify.
Which I believe was upgrading engine.
That was an option, yes.
Okay.
To go faster, one must upgrade the engine.
Or wings.
Or wings, which we could upgrade both. But
Yeah, we could just be really fast. Who needs defense or offense when you're in front of everyone?
is to put all 3 of our remaining points into wings.
Gabe suggests spend the 3 on speed wings. It has the same amount of slots, but increases your speed by 3, which will pull you into a positive for speed, in fact.
I think that's great.
Great.
I like positivity.
Let's make that effect. All right. You folks, last time at the end, after we did some ship stuff, then went into the command center and talked to Teddy Rake about available missions, and you were offered 2. One to a magma planet for a drop-off and a pickup, like an exchange basically, and 1 to a planet called Irinia-Minor for a drop-off of a new drill bit. That one I'm only more specific on because you did choose that one. You're handed a big file folder with a lot of information on Irinia, Irinia-Minor, the mining colonies, etc., etc., etc. Teddy Rake says, blah, blah, blah. All the information's in there if you want it. But it's like much thicker than you would want to be handed a book and say that all the information's in there if you want it.
Take your word for it, sir. I have nothing but the utmost trust for authorities.
I'm going to prepare for the job, and at some point in the future, I will produce tools that I need.
And then lastly, bonds. We need everyone to share everyone's bonds so that we're all on the same page. Even if, like, this is not your character sharing the bonds, you're not telling each other that you don't trust each other, but it's good for us to know so that at the end, the conversation is easier to talk about how these have resolved. So, we'll start with Dante. What are your 3 bonds?
I just put in the random names. Is that what I was supposed to do? Yeah, I was supposed to just put a name in there. That's it.
Yeah, basically. So you have Ka'arl is distrustful of machines, and I will prove their value. You have Cookie is proof that great things can be achieved without machines. I must match those achievements with my own. Slippy knows where something amazing is hidden. I must get them to tell me. Ka'arl. In Dante's thing, he says, Ka'arl is distrustful of machines. I will prove their value. Talk to me about this moment. I went from Ka'arl's point of view. Talk to me about this moment where Wally came across you and thought that you were distrustful of machines.
I think the issue is that Carl assumed that a lot of the machines he's interacted with were very with the system. And so he was delightfully surprised, actually, that BBW was so prone to anarchy, actually.
Okay, so Carl is distrustful of machines because he thinks they work for the man, and now BBW has to prove that not
It's one
all
of the good
machines
ones
work for the man.
in Carl's eyes.
I like this. Okay, cool. Now, for you, Carl, tell us about your bonds.
I hesitate to trust Princess Grubbins. She seems like she would absolutely eat all of our heads if it meant whatever she's going for, and I don't think she's even trying to hide that, so I don't really want to put full trust in her. Then, as for Slippy, he seems very helpful, too helpful, and I'm wondering if there is an ulterior motive to that.
Okay.
And BBW seemed eager to break the law, and I want to nurture that anti-establishment attitude in him.
Slippy, you seem a little too helpful. Carl thinks that there's an ulterior motive. Is there, you don't even have to go into super detail, is there something behind that like face of
I'm trying to get you to fuck. If you're interested in somebody, I'm gonna get you with them.
Good. Okay, so not like in depth behind that face.
The ulterior motive is getting you laid.
Okay, cool. I like to know, like, is there something more we're looking for? And there might be, but
I'm just a good wingman, baby.
He's a good wingman, baby. All right, I like that. Slippy, talk to us about your bonds.
Cookie and I have a con running, trying to get them laid specifically because I said that to them. Everyone else is just a passive thing. If it comes up, I'll help them out. Cookie, we've had an explicit conversation.
Yeah.
I know I can trust. I put here BBC, but I do mean BBW. To have my back when things go wrong because they're a robot. Robots are infallible. And I've got my eye on the captain of the thing because they don't like acronyms, and that's not cool. They don't sit right with me.
Acronyms are dope.
Are you talking
acronyms are good.
Are we talking about Captain Teddy Rake, or are we talking about Captain Marjorie?
Marjorie.
We're talking about the captain.
Too competent.
Dante, talk to me about this moment. I think there probably is something that's happened where BBC has had Slippy's back in this month. Where, damn it, I was just reading it. Where BBW has just had Slippy's back in this month. Maybe you came up against some trouble on the station. Maybe Slippy got into a bind. Talk to me about this moment, Dante.
Well, it is in Big BBW's prime directive to help and to help others, as he was originally a party robot for children.
And I like to party too.
And he likes to party too. Sharing this common interest, I've been watching online, and I think having that as a close bond is going to make BBW trust a little bit more.
Okay, perfect. And I also wanted to hear about this other one. Cookie and I have a con running. In this month, has anything, Cookie, evolved beyond just Slippy trying to get you laid?
Excuse me, you mean that one dinner? You mean that one dinner that we got together?
Beyond that one dinner, you successfully pulled the coup de dinner that you pulled. Is there another con that you guys have got up and running?
No, but I think there was like a nod and a hand signal that there would be more when there was more.
Involving Captain Marjorie. Or
potentially
the hierarchy of the space.
Potentially, we've got an understanding.
Okay. Now, Cookie, talk to me about your bonds. Talk to us about your bonds.
First off, Carl's interests do not challenge my goals. We should share a meal and discover if we have use for each other.
Okay, so we're not sure if you and Carl are necessarily on the same page for the dinner. You at least Cookie believes.
But it doesn't seem like Carl seems useful and doesn't seem to have anything that.
There's nothing that would make us enemies, so let's
Exactly.
be friends.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay,
Let's
and
find
this
out
is-
if we have a use
we
for
need to
one
break
another.
bread in order for that to happen.
Mhm.
Okay, I like that. I like that.
Slippy has proven a helpful ally. I should discover more about Slippy. I should learn more of his history to sort of discern what kind of a reward would be actually.
Okay. So you want to learn more about your ally that you already trust in order to figure out how to later.
For
Okay.
being useful.
Okay. And the third one I see you have started typing, but do you have an idea on it?
Can machines eat? I must find out.
I must find out if machines can eat.
Machines eat.
Wouldn't that depend on the machine?
I must find out.
BBW?
I'm gonna go with I don't know. I don't know if one machine or another can eat.
Okay. BBW, have you ever tried to eat something? This is overall curious about BBW's like life. Has BBW ever tried to eat or imbibe in like liquids or foods?
Are you like Bender, the booze robot?
Battery acid?
I was going to reference that, yeah, how BBW has a function to spill out contents like a keg.
Okay.
Hold on.
I would
So
say
do you
there's
mean
a possibility.
Do you mean dispense liquids like a keg, or just spill out from like a crevice inside of you?
Or is it like one of those
I could have
flowers?
been what went wrong at the children's party that one time.
Oh no.
Oh, they hired an adult robot for a children's party. So you're an adult party robot.
Oh.
That
You fuck?
changes
Wait,
things.
hold on.
Dude's got dildos on his hands.
Slippy hadn't even thought about helping you try to get fucked, but do you want to get fucked? Robot?
An important question.
That's an important question.
I don't even know if I can eat yet. I don't know. Fuck, dude.
Let's get to eating first, then we'll talk about fucking. Take me to dinner first, Slippy.
I am too. That's how I am too.
Take me to
I get
dinner
that.
first. Okay, perfect. You have your mission dossier, and all your info is in there, you're told. It's like he just hands you like a phone book of papers. Some of them are stapled together, some of them are loose. They all deal with the planet, the nearby area in space, the mining practices, the banditry in the area, all that kind of situation is all kind of wrapped up in this big phone book you're handed. And you all board your ship for the first time, probably. And you're all settling into your seats aboard the bridge of your ship, which by the end of this mission, we should have a name for. We don't need a name for it quite yet because we're taking off on our first mission. But
The Tiddler.
the Tiddler is maybe where we'll start.
Vetoed.
Vetoed. The ship.
Hold on. The Toddler.
No, I don't want to say anything about that.
We just changed the name of the ship after each mission based off whatever happened in the last mission.
Okay.
So currently it's the ship, the dead ship. You
Formerly
all board
the broken ship.
the broken ship. You all
Hulk.
you all board the rusty broken ship and get into your battle stations. You are in direct communication with the shipmaster, who is giving, imagine like aircraft takeoff signals, right? You're getting in signals from incoming flights as well as all the outgoing ships. There's a lot of movement around the station, and like to and from this dead planet that your station is stationed next to. So there's like lots of traffic in and out. So you're in a direct line of communication. All the lights are going, you're getting your final go ahead, and then all of a sudden your communications and lights in the hull go down in like a snap, and you hear that like that like shut down of a lot of power noise.
Oh no, the ship quit.
What do you do?
I'm in the engine room, so how does the engine look? If it just shut down, can I see anything
Crank it back
that
up.
would cause that? Yeah,
Carl,
can I see the cause or start it back up?
Carl, when we do situations like this, pull from the basic moves. So give me a, let's say, discern realities, which is when you closely study a situation or person, roll plus wisdom.
Gotcha. 7.
Okay, so on a 7 to 9, ask one question from the list of questions. There's like 6 of them, so I don't want to read them all out to you.
What here is useful or valuable to me, looking at like all the knobs and levers and buttons and engine cranks and whatnot?
Yeah, we'll say that when you got on this ship, you were given a rundown after, telling the shipmaster that this is where you were going to be stationed. You were given a rundown of the basics and like, don't hit it with a wrench like you see in the videos. Take care of it. Here's some areas that go wrong. Here's where you fill the oil, blah, blah, blah. I think what is useful or valuable to you at this moment is looking over the engine. It doesn't seem like anything went wrong. Like from your point of view, nothing got knocked out of place. The sound, the like shutdown sound didn't even happen back here. When the engine shut down, it shut down peacefully as if the key was turned off, basically.
Then Carl is going to yell at the stairwell, "Hey, it was not my fault. Just FYI.
I believe you.
I didn't do it."
And you all are looking around the ship, and all of a sudden the communications begin staticking, and you hear that static buzz play over the speakers. And then a distorted voice comes over, and you immediately know that it's not the shipmaster in a totally different just key of voice, a distorted all to all hell. And all it tells you is to
bring home the golden drop.
And it repeats that message 3 times before the static cuts out and your engine kicks back on as if you turned the key on. Starts up normally, Carl. You in the engine room hear it begin, like I said, as if they hit the button to say go.
I'll give you a golden drop.
And
I thought it said golden drought, and I was like, I don't even know physically what that would be as an object.
The shipmaster comes on and says, what was that? You guys okay?
We need the golden drop.
I don't know what that means, but your ship seemed to cut out for a moment. Was that just like a power surge? You guys good? Do we need to give you guys a check over?
We need the golden
The
drop.
engine still works.
A checkover, I think, does sound like the right thing. We would not want that to happen while we're out on our mission.
And the shipmaster sends out a crew. It takes probably about an hour for them to give it a full, once over. They even, will say during this time, give Lily a little bit more of a rundown of the engine because they're checking a little bit deeper things. And Carl is attached to the ceiling cephalopod style, just watching over them.
Oh yeah, I am envisioning those little bar handles that you can have a little ladder coming out of a wall and shit that are all over ships. Those are all over every wall and ceiling. Carl's installing them where they're not so that he can climb over whatever he wants.
Yeah, I like that. And they tell you that there is no problem with the ship. It must have just been, these old ships, we bring them back, and could have just been some leftover power we needed to get out. Everything seems to be running at tip-top, chip-shop cheap.
Would this be an instance to scout
These are power leftovers. We don't need these.
about whatever the golden drop is?
You could try. You could try if you could give it a shot. If there's something like story wise that it is, you could try discern realities from your point of view to see if there's anything that.
Yeah, God, one of the questions is
Yeah.
who's really in control here, and that sounds way more valuable than what I ended up with.
Where's the golden drop?
You could try Spout Lore and see if there's anything you know about.
Discern
anything.
realities is more
Active perception investigation.
Yeah, it's also closer aligned to my ability conjuring. Is anyone like a high intelligence build? I've just got to know intelligence.
You pick up some experience if you do bad at it.
That's true. I'm happy to give it a shot.
Yeah, roll 2d6 on Spout Lore. See if there's anything in your memory that you know about the golden drop, or a golden drop of any kind.
That's a 4.
That's a 4. Hey, that's a failure.
Sure is. Happens.
I don't think that there's anything on Spout Lore that's huge on a failure. I think what that's going to do for as a failure, besides marking experience, is that as you folks go to take off, all your engines are secured, everything is good. You guys go to you input the coordinates into the auto drive system that you guys have installed, and your ship takes off. And Cookie is just out of it, like lost in thought, trying. I think Cookie thinks that there's something in your brain. You've heard of this before, and so you're just so distracted by this thought pretty much the whole trip. You're fixated on what this golden drop could be. So now we're in space. We're gonna start with, let's do Slippy. Slippy, roll me a D100.
You got it.
We're just gonna
D100.
take turns on this one every adventure.
Here we go. Big old D100.
This is
77. Double lucky.
This is a preparation roll, how prepared you are for your journey. So we're gonna -4 from that. What's your total?
73. Baby.
70.
1 lucky and a 3.
73. All right. That is not a bad start. Let's see where that puts you folks. You folks take off into space, and as you're flying through space. It's pretty empty. First, you folks have to traverse a pretty slow-moving asteroid belt that the AI is easily programmed to maneuver, and then you get out into open space, and your ship travels as fast as it can in the direction it needs to go. A few hours pass by, and you see up ahead a gray moon-like object. It doesn't seem to be orbiting anything. You don't see like a planet anywhere nearby, but this moon-like object is large, it's like the size of a moon, and it is just lazily drifting through space. We'll say in your direction, not like at you, but you guys are just, going in opposite directions. Your ship does not pick it up on the radars. Slippy, you notice that. You're on sensors. Your ship doesn't pick up anything on sensors, but you folks see this large moon in front of you.
Well, I probably didn't even see it if I'm in the fucking engine room.
You might not even.
I don't know how many windows there. Can you tell me if you see anything cool out the window?
I see a not moon.
What do you guys do?
It's not showing up on any of my sensors.
Have you tried turning it off and turning it on again? We can see it out the window.
Oh, hold on, it was off. Okay, it's still not on the sensors.
Now that it's on, it's still not on the sensors, no.
Let's discern some realities.
Yeah, Ka'arl, you can also, unless something is like going wrong, you're welcome to be in the bridge with everyone, like experiencing the adventure as well. We'll say that you can just get back to the bridge to do whatever work you need, or if we're like in battle, then you'll be stationed there to be taking care of the
They
engine.
always had to like call Scotty on the comms. He was always down in like the engine room. He was never up hanging out with them or anything, so I wasn't sure.
I guess that's fair, but we'll say you have a smaller ship than they had, or the engine's easily accessible, like a hatch underneath
Firefly
the
style.
Yeah, exactly. So discern realities.
I got a 13.
A 13, so you get to ask 3 questions.
Who's really in control here? Me and the DM.
Me.
What here is not what it appears to be.
What here is not what it appears to be. Cookie gets a thought and tells BBW on weapons to fire off a laser. You guys
shoot the moon.
Shoot that moon.
moon.
What occurs is the laser fires towards this rock in space. It goes through almost like a hologram the surface, and then it connects with a surface beneath, giving you the impression that there is an object inside of there, smaller than the moon, like it's presenting this holographic moon image.
Whatever it is, we just shot.
We just destroyed it.
Okay.
Interesting. So this moon is like a full-size full moon? Like a full-size moon?
Yeah, the thing you see is like a full-sized moon. Your laser, if it were to have connected with the moon's surface, like cut right through like a hologram. But then it connected, and we'll say that like it even sent a few like rocks out. So you get the idea that it hit rock and then blew that rock out, and it's like lazily floating out.
Okay. What should I be on the lookout?
Probably bullets.
Yeah, you don't know what's inside of this. If you land, if you like go inside of this hologram, you aren't sure if you can see out. So I think Cookie decides that it would be best at least to do a total scan on the area first to sense out if there are threats outside of this moon.
I got sensors. I can do some sensing. Here I go sensing with my sensors. I guess this is also discern realities.
Yeah, why don't Slippy give me one, and then we'll do your third hold.
11.
11.
Plus whatever.
Goodness. Give me your first question. We'll get through these questions, and then we'll...
What happened here recently?
So, from the point of view of sensors, you folks do a little loop around, a wide loop around, we'll say, to like get a good scan of the area. Slippy, you don't pick up anything on the sensors. The whole time you're like going around this object, there's just nothing. We'll say that even like at the very edge of your sensor, and a little asteroid passes through and it trips your sensor, you see the little blip, and then it like curls out and towards a different, I don't know, gravitational field, but it just like this, whatever is in there is just not being picked up. It's like not being noticed as mass on your sensors, which I guess tells Cookie that there isn't much to be looking out for.
Can we just throw something into it on a tether and pull it back, see if it's safe?
Slippy, if you have another question, or
Is that something that here would be useful or valuable to me, like a string that I could throw into it, like a harpoon gun? Do we have harpoon guns on this ship?
Do I have a harpoon gun?
Hold on, I could pull out a harpoon gun right now.
That is not an object that the
gun's not a tool.
Prepared with.
Gun's not a tool. What is this?
So your question is what is useful or valuable to me. What is your third question?
What is about to happen?
I'll answer what is useful or valuable to the crew, and then what is about to happen. Those rocks you see floating are glittering. Like the closer they get to your ship, they're like lazily floating, but they're like glittering. They're shiny and a little bit metallic even. What is about to happen is that the moon-shaped object just changes trajectory. It starts going in just like a right angle away from you guys. Slightly faster than it was, but not like an incredibly fast speed.
We're not unable to keep up with it, but
correct, yeah, especially with your new wings.
Do we have like can we take a picture of it?
Can you take a picture of it? Yeah.
Okay. Can we send that picture to the captain? Got this buckwild thing. We're chasing it.
You can, but you folks were briefed that there isn't like a hard line of communication. It's like you send a message, they'll send a message, you'll send a message.
I mean, when we have a debriefing, at the very least, we could show it to them and make sure that they keep an eye out for suspicious object.
I mean, are we not going to follow it?
I mean, in case it gets away, I'm saying we could snap a photo for if we don't manage to pull this off.
Can we send them a photo while we're chasing it?
You're just sending like the message, we found this weird thing.
Mm-hmm.
Any news?
In case it's important, maybe they'll get back to us while we're still chasing it. Maybe not.
So, as a crew, how do you want to approach this rock that's not as big as it seems?
We should try communication with it. It looks like a spaceship.
Are we going fast? Can we go faster than this
Yes.
rock?
Yeah,
Looks
it's a
like
ship.
we may have uncovered quite the secret.
Do you guys? I wonder if it has the golden drop on it. So I need it. I was told I needed it.
The voices did say that.
Always trust the voices in your head. That's what I've learned. As an
I don't
officer.
trust the voices in my head. I trust the voices in the ship because the ship's got a robot in
They're
it.
very different from head voices.
I can attest.
I can't tell the difference.
Glad you're the
Is
combat
there any way,
officer.
We can't lob like a physical object at it. All we can shoot is lasers.
Yeah, I think that there are spacesuits, so you guys could go out of the ship and try to throw something, but then you're just dealing with like basically float in there, etc. Because it probably moves out of the range of that because it's moving still.
Is it
Well,
a science
but
we can land on?
space.
That is the thing. You would have to go inside the hologram to know what you're dealing with inside the hologram.
Okay.
You blasted rock out from the hologram, but that's all you know.
How do we feel about peeking?
Yeah, let's just dip a toe in.
We're explorers. We're supposed to explore this. This feels like a thing we should explore.
The captain will love to hear about this.
Yeah. Shiny mountain.
You bring your ship up close to it, and your ship gets a little rocky, almost like there's turbulence as you're coasting along, we'll say like right next to this big moon. And you dip the tip of your wing into the hologram and pull it right back out. We'll say the turbulence kicks up a little bit when you dip your wing in, but it's not like unmanageable. It's almost like there's like I guess in terms of being in space, it would have to be like electromagnetic, like kind of waves coming off of this thing, causing you guys to have turbulence in space. That you did not feel from further away, you're only feeling them now that you're up close.
Still not through the hologram, though? We're encountering this turbulence before the hologram?
Yeah, you dipped a wing in, just because Slippy said dip a toe in, so that was my dip a toe in. And the turbulence, like, rocked you a little bit, but you, like, maintained course, and then you pulled out. It's still turbulent, but less than when you were touching it.
All right, BBW, go out to the wing and hold on to the wing, and we're gonna dip you in.
Huh?
You got this. I'm so proud of you for taking this mission on.
Let's plug him in.
All right. I'll go.
You guys gonna just put the robot in there?
Hold him by his cable.
Sounds like a fun adventure.
Hold on. I have a tool just for this occasion.
What is it?
All right, that is a 10, which I think is the good one, the one I'm looking for. Yep, it's a rope. And I have more things in my bag of tricks.
Okay, pull out a rope. A rope is something you can have.
You mean your
harpoon
bag of
gun,
things?
not. A harpoon?
No, I only need to get 2 more things to have a harpoon gun out of my bag. I'm just saying. But I do tie the rope to our robot friend.
All right, my limbs are capable of stretching really, really far.
I don't know about how far, but
Well, no, not far.
Shit's not that far.
So you guys are gonna fly above and just sort of kick BBW out and let him drop into the moon?
Yeah. Just have a look. We'll bring you back.
All right.
We'll bring you back probably.
BBW, give me a defy danger, and you can pick either defy danger strength, dexterity, or constitution.
Well, we figured out that there's danger.
And those mean the difference is strength is powering through, dex you can't do because you're not getting out of the way fast enough, or enduring. So it's either strength or con, by powering through or just enduring it. And whichever one, roll 2d6 plus strength or con.
The 2d6?
Yes.
Plus, okay, I'll do Constitution.
Guys, yelling moral support from the doorway out on the wing, like, you can do it!
And
I can't, but you can do it!
I rolled a help because I'm helping.
5 total that I got.
Let's see. So, Lawrence, you want to aid. When you help or hinder someone, roll plus bond. Do you have bonds with BBW?
I do indeed. I have 1 bond with
All right,
BBW.
so take +1, roll 2d6 plus 1.
I trust them infallibly. I trust that they're gonna be just fine here. It's a 9.
7 to 9, they
Plus-
still get a
plus 1
modifier,
with
but
a
you
10.
expose yourself to danger, retribution, or cost. So here's how this will go. You pull out the rope, and you try to look for a place to anchor it outside this
I got a +1, so it's a 10.
door. Okay,
Just so you know, so I don't have danger.
No, that's yeah, that is ideal. Then you find a place to anchor it inside the door,
Boom.
giving him a +1. However, it's still a total failure. So Mark, experience BBW, one mark of experience for failing. Here is what happens. BBW, you go to imagine you're flying above water. You're just trying to skim BBW under the surface of this water. But the turbulence causes the, we'll say that since Carl is in engine, it does make sense for you to be on pilots. We'll just call shields. They are shields. It makes the most sense, really. So you're holding things steady, and then the turbulence causes you to dip, which causes you just to fully submerge BBW into the hologram.
Pull him up really fast though.
You pull him up really fast, and BBW, you crest this hologram and go right through. Immediately, it's hard to parse what you are seeing, but it seems as if inside of this hologram there is a extremely dense electromagnetic storm centered around a glowing rock, like a big glowing metallic rock.
Is it yellow?
No, it's silver.
This is just some douchebag science experiment.
Oh, it's not a spaceship?
And it is not a spaceship. However, you are just entrenched in this storm. You get that image, and then your systems shut down entirely. Things go black for you.
Time to reel in a limp robot.
Now you need to roll up a new character. No. The ship pulls you out as quick as you dropped in. You were probably in there a total of maybe 2 seconds. The party pulls you back into the ship, and it's almost a frighteningly long amount of time before you turn back on. Nothing that they do helps. It just after, we'll say 20 or so minutes of you just being dead robot,
and us doing percussive maintenance, we're kicking it come on, turn on, we can fix it.
He knows.
I didn't do anything for
making it
help.
all worse.
I tried to beat it.
Carl knows engine stuff, so Carl tries to hit it with a wrench, and it just does not help.
It works on most computers. What do you want?
And BBW, you turn back on. You're a little you feel a little fried. BBW feels pretty fried, but after we'll give some basic free leeway with a lot of it. After a quick system diagnostics, your system shows that your batteries are full charged or whatever that means for you, and that you are doing just fine. But you feel fried, you feel shot at the moment.
Systems online. Happy birthday. Sorry.
That's okay.
It's cool. I love birthdays, man.
Happy birthday.
Well, happy birthday. Where is everybody?
I'm right here.
Hi.
You're not blind.
Oh no, I'm blind.
Oh no, I'm blind. Sorry, my systems are quite working there, it looks like. Wasn't I going into that storm?
Oh, you did. Yeah, it went perfectly. Thank you so much.
Submission success.
Yep.
We were
It turns out it was a storm. The storm wasn't indeed a storm. Thanks.
You're great. You did
great
wonderful
work.
So I guess I purposely
I'm proud
did not
of you.
sacrifice.
No. We weren't gonna let that be a suicide mission. We just wanted to see the inside, bro.
You're not alive now.
as your system diagnostics comes to a close, you find the final file you have in there, which is a quick shot right before you went black of what you saw in there. And your systems are able to do basic scans, I think, of the environment, similar to like the way that the ship's AI kind of scans a planet. You get a little bit of information. It tells you that the rock inside of there is just a very high value mineral, very, very good in ship construction. Let's call it Delta 8. The Delta guilds are the one that found it, like way out here in the universe. So it is called Delta 8. That's a huge, huge chunk of Delta 8.
Nice. Whatever Delta 8 is, it's in there.
Cool. Well, we just have to follow it.
Yeah, you can follow it.
But, like, forever?
We're on a mission, aren't we?
Not this mission. Let's go somewhere else. And it's
Yeah.
silver. It's not a golden drop, and so I don't care. The voice told me I don't need to worry about it.
If the voices in my head don't care, then I don't care, honestly.
Crawling in my skin.
Voices in my head.
Voices in the ship.
I asked the ship's AI a question. And ship's AI, like, plot the, like, projected course of this thing. It did change direction, so I don't know how much that. But
yeah, I'll say that it can. On the sensors, you kind of run that diagnostics, or Slippy does, and it shows that it's just going straight. It seems that it will go straight forever. A long way into space, it would be hitting a planet.
okay, well,
just forever from now.
Ship's AI, please save all that, because that's valuable. I'm not gonna think.
It's valuable. Yeah. It marks that trajectory into the memory, and then like saves that as a planet to visit in the future.
That's the most valuable information we now know.
True. Costly. Monetary valuable.
Okay, what was our mission? Let's go do that. To Irinia.
Yeah, it says so in this book.
You folks, Slippy, do you read the phone book as you guys go?
Oh yeah, I've been reading it this whole time. I'm gonna be like an encyclopedia.
Okay.
You can fuck that. You cannot fuck that. You cannot fuck that. You can fuck that.
Give me a spout lore. As you folks approach Irinia, you probably travel another day or so. 10 is perfect. So Slippy has read, we'll say by the time you get here, a vast amount of this dossier. At least scanned all of it, if not read the important chapters. The things you learn. So you folks are on the planet of Irinia-Minor as we were doing your delivery. You know that as meteors crash into this smaller planet that you're landing on is next to just a titan of a planet. And as meteors crash into this, it sends up large chunks of this ore that begin to orbit the planet and then suck in asteroids, creating their own little like rocks. And miners come out here to mine it. The ore itself is extremely soft. The miners know that like they can't not dig this stuff with like their hands or a hand tool. It requires a very specific soft drill bit to like break the tension between the rock and the mineral to like get it out in chunks. You know that there's like a small section on banditry in the area, like space bandits and pirates come and try to steal, but like it doesn't seem to be successful out here because a lot of them don't know the intricacies of mining Irinia. So when they get their hands on a compound, they kind of fuck up all of the vein trying to get it out because they don't know. And so like space pirate out here has kind of gone downhill in recent decades. So it's a little bit safer of an area to be like mining a high valuable material because it takes like high levels of skill. That is the main and important information. As you folks come down onto this smaller rock orbiting this Titan planet, you hover over a small settlement. It is like 3 sets of row houses leading up to a large warehouse-style building. All of this seems to be either carved out of rock or like built out of chunks of other rock brought here. It looks like it's made out of the rock that is on the planet. The last row of row houses leading up to this big warehouse building is in ruins. It is just like rubble. There is also some contact information for whoever read the dossier, which is Slippy in this case, to contact as you arrive to call them out so that they don't think that you're just some space pirates coming to...
Ring, 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 ring. Hello, we're not space pirates.
Yeah, Slippy, you throw down the communication line and it rings for quite a long time, like 90 seconds before it's picked up. And the voice on the other end of the line is short and it just says, what?
We're here.
Who's?
We've got your bits, me boy.
Who's we? Sorry?
We're from the D-Gap, and we've got your drill bits.
Oh, you got a delivery for the drill bits. Great.
The D-Gap drill bits. Yeah.
Just come down and land amongst the row houses. We'll I'll come out and meet you guys, and you can bring it on in.
Yep. Here we go.
Folks come down to a land amongst the row houses, and out of the warehouse, I'll say that you're still like on the bridge. You see through the windshield out from the big warehouse at the end of the row houses. The door opens up and a gruff-looking gray, like our normal understanding of like a gray, an alien gray, just kind of strolls out of this building and begins approaching your ship. You notice that behind this gray, another taller, more slender gray as well comes out. She has like a long rifle in her hands. And she's just like scanning the skies and the surrounding area as he approaches you guys.
Do we have a gameplay? How do we get now?
Yeah, I mean, a little like the traditional like ship ramp extender thing. Cool. Maybe it drops down on the back like a warehouse door.
Down the ramp we go. Hail and well met. My name is Grubbins. What is yours? You come with your drill bits.
People call me Chutch.
Nice to meet you, Chutch.
Nice to meet you too. And he reaches a hand out to shake your hand, and his arm is just coated in silver dust. But both of his arms are dirty as hell.
Dirty as hell. I shake his hand.
You shake his hand, and your hand, like when you pull it back, is just like you just patted it in silver dust. It's coated from wherever his hand was touching.
I taste it.
Very soft. It's like the metallic.
Free money.
Do you want it then?
Scrape it off my skin and into a pile.
Silver dust.
The Chutch tells you folks to load up the cargo and follow him on in. I imagine like on a cart and just have a drill bit.
Yeah, like a
like an AV cart.
Exactly, that kind of situation. Yeah, exactly.
All right, well, I guess we load it up on the cart. We go on in.
Here you go.
Do all 4 of you follow Chutch in?
What is the usual procedure? What do we?
This is your first mission. There is no usual procedure. We haven't created one.
I'm gonna stay with this ship. It seems like the best idea. If anyone's gonna stay with the ship, it should be the security person. That way, if anyone tries to steal the ship, I'm here. And also, I watch the engine anyway. Like, does that seem like a good idea to everyone?
Seems like it could be.
I must go.
BBW must go. All right.
Live your life, bro.
You're gonna go. And Slippy, you join in or you stay with the ship?
I will come along, I suppose.
Come along. So the 3 of you push this AV cart with, we'll say it has just one heavy drill bit on it. Like you cannot carry it with your hands. It requires this gravity cart or whatever. And you folks are pushing it along the ground behind Chutch. And Chutch strolls up to the warehouse, and the Lady Grey and Chutch throw open a big set of double doors. And what you see inside this warehouse is like this warehouse was constructed almost as a shell. Inside this warehouse is a big hole just cut into the ground. And from your angle, you can see like stairs kind of cutting down, or a ramp, we'll say, sliding down. as if there's a mine here, but they've blocked it in by these walls.
This is an amazing mine you have here.
Chuck looks around, he nods, and he says, "Yeah, we did good work."
I have a question about this drill bit.
Yes.
I recall that the ore that you were mining for is very soft.
Very soft.
Why do you need such an incredibly heavy drill bit to mine this very soft?
I imagine that the mechanics in the drill bit are it's just a heavy drill bit. The drill itself, the head is much softer.
Oh, fascinating.
He shrugs his hand and he like pats off his hands and little silver clouds are coming out.
Nice.
Slippy is holding his shirt like underneath the cloud. He's just like getting some.
These are mine now. This is all my dust. He's gonna sell his shirt afterwards.
He's gonna have like a pouch of fairy dust.
I'm going to melt my shirt down after this adventure.
And you folks follow Chutch into this mine shaft that cuts directly down, following a little spiral ramp pretty far down and into the planet. Carl, you see this taller, slender gray close the door behind them, and then she posts up outside the door with her rifle and keeps an eye, keeps lookout.
That seems like a security procedure.
And you folks are heading into the earth. Things are quiet down here. Very, very quiet.
You ever think about rolling down this ramp in a barrel?
Yeah, I've been thinking about it for quite a long time now, actually. It's just such a long ramp that I feel like if I hit the bottom, I'd die. If it rolled off at any point along the way, there's nothing to catch me as I tumble down this mine shaft.
You are absolutely right.
Yeah, it seems a little dangerous.
But there is
You probably think of something to catch you with.
Cross the...
Oh, just cross the gap onto the next ramp. There is a chance I could
just skip a few.
And you get to the bottom of the shaft, and it cuts off in many different directions. But there is a door. There's two doors, one on either side, and then a bunch of tunnels that cut off it. And he takes you over to one door and opens it up, and it seems to be a big equipment holding area. There's hand drills. There's big machine drills, but all of it seems to be in disrepair. And you bring in the drill head, and Chutch says, "You can drop it off here. This is perfect."
Thank you. If you could please sign the space paperwork. Also...
Space initial to space delivery form, please.
Yes, here and here.
Chutch, he goes to initial it and writes his entire name out in separate letters. Chutch.
And then could we get your hollow identification really quick?
I'm sorry?
Your hollow
asking for an ID? Chutch
I need to make sure that it's really the real Chutch.
We need your head.
Chutch shrugs and he's like, I work in a mine, my guy. I don't know what to tell you.
You don't have a wallet, Chutch?
Pats his pockets and he leaves silver handprints on his dirty pants already.
Yes! Right to my plan, Chutch. Thank you.
And he says, "No, but I signed it, Chutch."
You sure did. Is this mission accomplished? Have we done here?
You guys came
Chutch, you're not a space pirate, are you?
Deliver a thing, and you have delivered a thing.
All right.
Do they pay us, or do we return for payment? Was that determined during the contract?
Captain Rake will pay you every time.
I'm gonna discern realities really quick.
Okay.
Is this shit real?
I rolled
easy.
I rolled a 10, but I only want one question.
We'll start with one. As I answer with story, another one may come up.
Who's really in control here?
Who's really in control here? Chutch. No.
I knew it.
Who's really in control here? You folks are here in this equipment room, which the longer that Slippy stands in here, the more confused he becomes, because it seems like equipment is stored in here, but the tables and things that it's resting upon are chairs and tables. Like this was once almost like a crew room, You see pictures on the walls, and they're pretty dusty, but in all of the pictures on the wall, and like all these different like folks hanging out, arms around each other with like the hand drills in each other's hands and like laughing and pointing at a vein in the wall or whatever, you don't see a single gray in the pictures, which I guess would result my answer in probably not Chudge, at least not in control of the mine.
Yeah. Could I also get a what here is not what it appears to be? Is the answer Chudge?
The answer is Chudge. But what it is about Chudge is it clicks in your head, Slippy, now that you are slightly inquisitive and like looking Chudge up and down, looking for red flags. The thing that stands out to you is the thing that you've been doing this whole time, and that's collecting that silver dust. You read that the miners here do not mine by hand because it is pointless. You will not be getting anything. So his arms should not be full coated in this silver dust. And you guys are here to deliver the drill bit. If all of these drills are broken, Chudge has not been mining.
Okay.
Or has been mining recently.
Slippy's just gonna say, and he's gonna say this while he's doing this, specifically because my backstab maneuver only is whenever I am attacking a surprise or defenseless enemy, and he will not be surprised if I say this thing and then do the action. Okay. Yes. So here it goes. I'm saying, I think you're a space pirate, and then I'm going to roll 2d6 to do my backstab maneuver.
Okay.
Okay. That is a 9 plus whatever the fuck. Dexterity probably. 11.
Okay, yeah.
And then I get to choose two things. Number one, I'm going to give one of my allies an opening, so they get +1. And also his armor is reduced by 1 until he can repair it, and that's because I'm ripping his shirt off of him and taking it.
You rip his shirt off.
You know, like those memes that have been floating around where people are like, I need a napkin, and somebody goes, oh, I got you, and then they walk over to a person seated inconspicuously nearby and just rip
off
their
their shirt. That shit is hilarious. Yeah,
that's absolutely what I just did to this gentleman. Except I said, I think you're a space pirate.
So you rip his shirt, and he stumbles backwards into a pile of these drills and machineries, and he yells out, BBW, that gives you an opening. This guy has been dropped to the ground and been called a space pirate right next to you, and you have an opening to attack, which I think gives you +1 if you choose to attack.
Yes, he gets +1.
What do I attack with? I have a weapon.
Hard Light Grinder is your like melee weapon. It's like the handheld rotating scalpel that you use to, I don't know, cut machines up.
All right, time for surgery.
Yeah, something like that. So you can give this guy a good stab with your grinder.
You don't even need to necessarily like hurt him. You could just be like, all right, and now stay on the ground, and we got some questions.
That's true.
You'd probably get a +1 to that too.
Okay. Can I like roll intimidation?
Check out the cheat sheet for all of our moves. Let's see if there's any. So parlay is actually useful here. Parlay would actually be our intimidate. Leverage on this would be his life.
He's scared of you.
And you'll still get a +1 because it's give an ally +1, not +1 to an attack.
Yeah, so you can roll to intimidate this guy, basically. Roll plus charisma.
A 10.
A 10. They do what you ask, but you must first promise what they ask of you. So what do you intimidate him? Like, what do you say when you intimidate him? What's your intimidation?
Okay, I have this laser I could use, so I'm just gonna. It's attached. I have to be using like there's a little twirling thing I have that comes out of my hands. It's like a noisemaker, and then my eyes will start lighting up. Answer this question: are you a space pirate? Or are you somebody's birthday boy?
And he puts his hands up and he says, he puts his hands up and he says, I'll tell you what you want. You promise that you'll let me live.
Flippy goes, yeah, he won't kill you.
Well, no, it would be cool if you just all not kill me. Okay. Like, okay. This has been a lot harder than it should have been.
It's crazy up until this moment.
We came here to try a little bit of banditry, and it's proven to be a lot harder. I don't know if you guys know this. You cannot get this ore out of these mines with any of their hand tools down here. Why do they have pickaxes down here? And he like motions to the corner.
For the aesthetic.
Pile of pickaxes. It's like they don't work. But look, we'll leave if you guys just like chill with the aggression. Let us slip right by. We haven't really gotten to take too much because all the drills were broken when we got here.
How many of you are there?
Where are all the miners?
When you ask where all the miners are, you hear a muffled grunt from outside the door. Not like right outside the door, but like out and in the mines. He says, I promise you, they're all safe. I think I just need a little bit of more promise of my safety before we're done trading lives here. And you see,
like the transaction's already concluded.
You see his hand kind of resting on his waist. There is a pistol holstered there. Carl, you are hanging out in the bridge. The ship is totes fine, and you look up to like check in on the slender gray at the door, and she is gone.
Okay, then I'm gonna remain extra vigilant just because now I know there's not an armed guard nearby. I'm assuming at the moment, for safety's sake, Arl's assuming that like maybe they're just shifting guards or maybe there's only a guard for certain times, but if there's no longer an armed guard, he's going to be more on edge. I'd say heightened.
Yeah, that tracks. Is the ship on? Are you like, do you have systems on? Are you watching, I don't know, sensors and such?
I've probably got, like, the lights and stuff are on, the cameras are on, the door locks are on, the
closed.
What is it called? The, like, bay door that people walk up on, that's closed.
Okay.
So there's no open doors or anything. But yeah, any like some minor security measures like motion sensors and some cameras on the outside, those would definitely be on.
You see
at this moment
you're giving a peek around the ship. She's gone, so you're doing like a little checkup around the ship. And when you return to the bridge, you see the air is pretty cloudy above, and the clouds part for just a second, and a small ship dips down and does like a small flyover of this almost compound that you guys are stationed at right now before it cuts back up into the cloud cover. It looks raggedy and beat. What do you do?
There's just a ship hiding in the clouds above us, spying down?
Correct. It is hiding in the clouds above you. You spotted it for a second.
I guess I'd like to discern reality. I want to try to see if he's going to see if he made out any discerning signs on the ship.
Okay.
Either way, I rolled a 12. So.
All right. What's your first question?
It's +1, so 13. First question. Let me see what the options are.
What here is not what it appears to be?
When you see that ship crest in, out of the corner of your eye, you see a tiny little blip on your motion trackers, and your cameras will say on the side are like motion activated, and they cut on. You don't see anything except like the edge of a shadow move out of frame. Someone is seemingly out there. Something is out there, at least.
Who's really in control here?
The motion camera on the other side of the ship cuts on, and you see kind of two things happen at once. The ship in the clouds cuts down again, and right as it cuts down again, you see it, and then that motion camera cuts on, and you see a hand cut up from behind like a pile of rubble or behind a wall, and it gives like a signal pointing away, and then the ship cuts back up into the clouds.
I guess what should I be on the lookout for? Thus far, a lot of these things, while things to notice and keep an eye on, none of them are immediate, necessarily immediate threats. They're like observations of potential threats.
Yeah.
So
We'll say
he's
with
kind of
all
more
of
curious
these.
what directly he thinks is a threat.
Yeah. We'll say with all of these things, you click on the wider sensors of the ship, which does bring a little hum up, like a little, energy hum up on the ship. But you're able to get a much more comprehensive view of like what's around you. And your scanners pick up this compound. They pick up a blip above your ship, and that blip moves to the north, and then you see it kind of stationed there, and then the blip cuts out. And I think you would have been given enough training at this point to know that means that the ship is turned off. So you get the idea that it's landed not too far to the north behind. Maybe there's like a rocky outcropping or something. You didn't see the ship come down, but also cloud cover and like lots of rocks. So I would say be on the lookout for that.
As precaution, knowing this, are our ship systems, and in the way that we can turn them on, are we able to kind of discreetly turn on individual systems? Like, could I turn on the weapons just so that they were armed in case a danger were to pop on, I could go into the turret or something?
I think
without that being very obvious.
I think with the hum of the ship and the sensors, that there's not going to be too much of an addition. I think the turning on of the sensors is probably the one that got them to possibly know you're on the lookout.
Gotcha.
The weapons didn't like prime because you're not like, on that station, but the ship has electronically turned on. It's not like engine started, but...
Then in that case, I'm going to shut off the sensors and turn on I assume they have some space equivalent of radio. I turn on some space radio. So it was as if I was like checking for something but didn't find anything, and so
now you're
went casually, and then I'm going to turn that on and basically like keep a really close watch out on high alert from the inside wherever I can see.
Okay. You three in the room. You have this space pirate who is kind of in a heap. What do you three do?
Okay, so I've gathered that the miners are in the mine. Yes?
Yeah.
Okay, and how many of you are there?
There's just me and Emil you saw upstairs.
And?
And what?
That's
just
it? The end?
Yeah, that's all that we got.
Okie dokie. Well, how much do you want to buy that drill bit for?
I crouched up next to this person. What's his name?
Church.
I crouched up next to Church and I say, oh, you poor malnourished man. It must have been awful, just the two of you, and digging through this terrible rock. Is that what's covered you in all of this dust?
Yeah, we tried to dig it up. It's just it falls apart in your hands as you pull it out of the walls.
It didn't matter how hard you worked, huh?
No, I'm covered in it. I'm covered in silver dust. Irinia dust.
What do they feed you here?
We've just been eating from the storage. It seems like most of it's the dried meats, and
that can't have been good for you.
Good enough for the miners. It's good enough for Chutch. I think, so what occurs as a way to wrap here, you folks are down in the mines, and Carl is keeping a lookout around the entrance and anywhere visible, Carl is keeping a lookout for. And Carl, after a few minutes of keeping a lookout, you see a band of 3 Greys come around the warehouse wall and go to enter into the warehouse. What do you do? They are armed and covered. They have like combat leathers on, and they all have weird junked together space weapons that they are holding in hands and walking towards the door.
I guess I want to turn the cameras on to record so that I have them on camera. And then I want to wait a couple minutes before probably following them in.
Okay. Then here's how this will roll. Those three go into the mine. We'll say that this is like timeline-wise as you guys are shoving him into the pile. Those three go into the mine. Carl, we'll say a minute passes by and you go to follow them. These two things kind of happen at once. Carl, as you reach the door, you hear the sound of a gunshot, and then a bullet hits the metal wall next to you. And you turn around and you see the gray with a rifle peering around the side of some of that rubble of the broken down longhouses, the closest set of longhouses. And then right as like she sees you see her, she cuts back behind the rubble and you lose sight of her. Right as that happens, down in the mine, you three hear footsteps approaching, coming down the ramp. Several sets of footsteps. What do you do?
How many?
You just hear feet coming down the ramp.
Can we see anybody coming down the ramp?
No, you guys are in this room. In this break room almost.
Is there a door? I completely forgot.
There is a door. It's just say closed behind you. It's just closed at the moment.
How loud is the laser pistol?
The sound of quieter than a pistol, but it is like not insignificant noise.
Okay, dokie. I'm gonna put myself right next to the door with my hard light blade out.
Got a knife drawn. What you got?
I want to stab Church, but
Blue stab Church. Kill him real quick before the fight begins.
I think I'm gonna grab Church and I'm gonna put my knife through his throat and I'm gonna say, "Don't you move, Church."
All right, BBW, what do you do? Cookie has grabbed Church and Slippy is hiding on the other side of the door.
I'm gonna crawl to the ceiling and hide my little shaker thing. Sorry, my noisemaker, but I'm gonna keep my lasers ready.
I like that. Post it up on the ceiling. I love that. All right. And that is where we're going to leave this session. You folks primed for footsteps outside the door and Ka'arl outside in a face-off. Guns ablaze. So, at the end of each session, we do a few questions. After every session, we should do these things because this is how you level up. So end of session questions. These questions go towards your characters, of course. Did we learn something new and important about, it says the world, but it's really just like our, place in this universe. Did your character learn something new or important?
I shouldn't lower my robot friends into electrical storms. It's bad for them.
I feel like you should have already known that an electrical storm. I feel like you should have already known, though, that an electrical storm would be bad for a robot.
Not me. That wasn't something that Carissa told me about.
I don't feel like it would have been particularly better for any of the rest of us.
Do you think it would have turned you off?
No, it would have turned me on. Okay. Sure, I guess so. We can be loose with it. BBW, what did you learn anything new or important about the world?
I learned about electrical storms.
You did. You learned especially about this Delta 8, that they're surrounded by electrical storms that'll fuck you right to pieces. Ka'arl, did you learn anything new or important about our reality?
I learned that robots don't even respect the primary 3 rules of robotics, so they can do anything. They're completely 100% sentient.
Okay.
They're not supposed to be able to harm themselves unless it's to protect another human, and this one just stuck its head in an electric storm.
Well,
robots aren't prone to be able to do that, really, so
robots can
no laws of robotics exist.
Okay.
You're sentient fully. Ka'arl's convinced.
I learned the trajectory of potentially the biggest motherlode in the history of the company.
I would agree with that. All of you mark 1 experience for that. Did you overcome a notable monster or enemy? I think would probably be no for this answer.
I don't know. The robot overcame death.
The robot might have overcome a notable. See, it's not monster. It's not even an enemy. That was just like a force of nature. I guess so. I guess the robot could mark one for overcoming the
versus
storm.
nature is definitely a plot type.
But I don't think anyone else overcame a monster or enemy specifically.
No.
And
I chilled on the ship.
And no one looted a memorable treasure. So
I've got this drill bit now.
So beyond that, so Dante, you mark another experience. So from this situation, you should have marked 2 total, and everyone else should have marked 1. Now, each of you go through your 3 bonds and see if you can resolve one of them. And that would just mean that like its situation has changed and now you can update it. So if it's like, I don't trust this person, it maybe is now this person has shown that I can trust them or something along those lines.
I know mine haven't really changed. I was looking through them.
Okay.
Mine neither.
Yours neither. That's okay. They won't necessarily change every time, but it's good to check. Slippy or BBW, did any of your bonds hit a point that you could change them?
I don't think so.
Okay, great. So you mark those experience, 2 for BBW, 1 for everyone else. You level up when you reach your current level plus 7, so 8 total experience. You'll hit level 2. Yeah.
We get those cool moves down below.
Deal.
All right.
Don't forget to say experience.
I need to fail more rolls.
Yes, every time you fail, you'll also take 1 experience. I'll do my very best to like point that out.
Yeah. I wanted. There was one that I forgot to ask for because it was confusing, and I'm not sure if Dante got it. Dante rolled a 5 when trying to do something, but Larry helped him, and that succeeded. But Dante did roll a failure. Does that count for experience for him?
So yes, it does count because in the end, Dante still failed. Like with the bonus that Lawrence gave him, he went from a 5 to a 6, which is still failure. I'm pretty sure I told him to mark that, but if you have only 2 right now, Dante, then you should have 3 from that time that you failed.
I was going in and out at that point, so I might have missed that.
That's totally cool. Yeah, you're totally right though. Cool, we'll pick up next time at the confrontation of the space pirates.